These are the fundamentals of gerrymandering. By the end of this speech, you will be able to answer some basic questions about gerrymandering. 1. What is gerrymandering? 2. Why is it a concern to the public? And 3. How does it work? 4. What is being done about it? The word gerrymandering comes from two places. The jerry comes from Governor and later VP Elridge Gerry, and the mandering comes from salamander, from the redrawing of the election district of South Essex, Massachusetts, according to Elmer Griffith in The Rise and Development of the Gerrymanderer. This illustration further illustrates gerrymandering by Elkin Tisdale in the Library of Congress. Every 10 years there is a U.S. Census, and among other purposes, this data is used for the purpose of determining if any changes need to be made into voting districts. For example, according to Public Records Bureau population estimates for 2018, 6 states would gain a seat in the House of Representatives, while 7 would lose a seat. The redrawing of borders for voting districts is called redistricting. Gerrymandering is when redistricting is done in a corrupt fashion to influence a political party or for political gain. Gerrymandering, or corrupt redistricting, is currently a great concern to the American public, despite attempts at reform. It is especially of concern so close after the 2020 census because cases of gerrymandering rise after census is taken, and the effects can be felt for up to the next 10 years until the next census. Now that you know what it is and why it is a concern to the American public, you may be wondering how it works. An interview on cspan.org on August 13, 2001, Republican strategist Thomas Hoffler, who was known for gerrymandering in favor of the Republican Party, explained that gerrymandering was like an election in reverse. Usually voters get to pick the politicians. In redistricting, politicians pick the voters. The learning game site redistricting.org demonstrates the principles and mechanics of gerrymandering in a way that is understandable to everyday citizens. It was created in 2017. It explains that there are 2 main strategies of gerrymandering. One is cracking, which dilutes power of the opposing party by splitting them over multiple districts, and the second is called packing, which concentrates opposing parties' supporters into a single reduced district to inhibit their power. Now that you know what it is, why it's important, and how it works, let me explain what people are doing about it. The main strategy to fight against gerrymandering is giving voters more say in the drawing of their districts. For example, an article in the Detroit Press by Clara Hendrickson talks about a listening tour comprised of 2 hearings to find out what the needs of citizens of Detroit wanted for their district lines. Many citizens expressed concerns that changing the 2 existing districts of Detroit into one district would take away the power they have in their voting bloc and reduce public funding in their district. Another tool to help citizens have more control over redistricting is providing consolidated and easy to understand resources regarding current redistricting court cases and bills in their state. North Carolina, for example, has a centralized source called democracync.org. It organizes all legal cases and congressional committees' bills related to redistricting in an easy-to-use and accessible format. Now you know the fundamentals of gerrymandering, what it is, why it's a concern to the public, how it works, and what is being done about it. So what is being done about gerrymandering? Citizens are working together in a variety of ways to make their voices heard about redistricting that affects them, and attempts are being made to take power away from the corruption and to voters.